All right, thank you. So what we are saying is that what we actually in this unit 4, we are saying that what we actually expect is not what happens to us, and what we don't expect is what mostly happens to us. And because of that, we need to learn from the leaders within the business environment and learn some of the lessons from them and adapting some of the best practices that they use to overcome some of the challenges that they face, and adapting risk management system that they use to overcome some of these challenges. Now, the question we want to ask ourselves is, what is change management? We talk about change management and we are saying, Andrew says, the sun has changed. I changed what? The sun is still the same thing. The hotness, the size, nothing has changed about the sun. All right. The one God created from the beginning of creation is what is still in circulation. It hasn't changed. So, what is change management? Change management is the process of managing changes to organizational processes, the structural change, the technical change, the staff change, the culture change within an organization. You see, what I just want to draw our attention to is the fact that there is no other channel, Philomena, Nyako, there is no other channel apart from the V class. That is the official platform of the university. Okay, so there's no other platform to submit your assignments. You can't send it to me on WhatsApp. You can't send it to me on mail. If you send it to my WhatsApp, you send it to my email, you are wasting your time, because the grading system will be done on the V class. So please, let's pay attention to that. All right. So what I just want to say is that anytime technology is introduced in every organization, it creates a whole lot of issues. What are some of the issues? People begin to find ways. Let me give you a typical example. In the year, I think 2007 or 2006, 2007, during President Kofor's time, he went to Germany and brought certain German engineers, and they built a particular clearing system at the Tema Harbor. Okay, so when containers and other things come to the harbor, they don't need to offload everything from the container before they can charge the duty. So they had that particular system. Then this German engineer, after establishing or developing the system and assembling the whole thing, he gathered some Ghanaians and trained them extensively about the usage of the system. Okay, so that whenever there is minor mistakes or problems, they can be able to fix it without him coming down. Then, after staying for a month, after establishing, setting up the system, he stayed in Ghana for about a month, making sure that the system was working perfectly. Then this white man left. As soon as he dropped in Germany, less than a week, they called him to come back. There's a big problem that they need to check, because they have tried everything and it's not working. So this man flew back to Ghana to come and see what was the problem. And can you believe it, or can you believe it, that when he opened the whole system, somebody has actually put salt into the machine, has condemned the board and everything in the machine. Simply because that system was stopping people from opening people's. When they are able to open those containers, they are able to steal from the importers. They are able to charge them anyhow and all those things. So when they realize that this technology will not make them get whatever they want out of the system, yes, here in Ghana, they spoiled the machine. And when the white man came, as soon as he saw what they have done to the system, he just disassembled everything and carried the parts back to Germany, because people will want to do anything whenever there is a change. It's not everybody who seems satisfied or who is happy for that particular change. So change management is the process of managing the changes to the organizational process, the way we do our things. When we introduce technology, it will change our processes. Our structure will change. Our technicalities, some of the things we do will change. Staff will change. Some will lose their job. Some will still be available. And the culture, the way we do our things in the organization will change. People will come to the office at 9 o'clock a.m., but will go and sign 7:15 a.m. as a reporting time. Meanwhile, the person knows that he came around 9 or sometimes even 11 a.m., but they will sign 7 o'clock because who is checking it? So if you bring a thumbprint system or a fingerprint login system, okay, and to check all these systems, somebody would deliberately blow the adapter that will turn the system on and tells you it's not working. We need to go back and sign, because if you are to use an electronic system, some shady deals will come to light. So that is how the organizations are. So change management is the process of managing change. So whenever we are introducing a new system, we need to manage how the changes is being introduced to the organization, how it's being introduced to the structure, the technical, and all those kind of things. Now let's continue. How do we introduce changes to organizations? So key management issues that we need to do. Number one, we need to time it, the schedule. Is it the right time to introduce that particular change? So the question is, what are the suitable stages for introducing a particular change? If you are a man and you are married to your wife, and even you want to go and divorce your woman, it is not every time you can just tell you, dear, I want us to go our separate ways. You might have to find the right appropriate time. In the same way, if you have a girlfriend that you want to propose to, you don't propose to her when the two of you are fighting. If you do that, you will get a straight no. So most of the time, the guys will find a very nice, expensive restaurant that in their entire life, they have not eaten there. For one day, guy, they will send the woman there, Kimpiski, order assorted food on the table, go and rent an orchestra to come and play happy birthday. So maybe it's the girl's birthday. They will take them out, go and rent some orchestra guy or a trumpeter to come and blow some trumpets. We'll go and hire some cameraman. Somebody say we stop this. Who said we have stopped this? People are doing it. So they will put the woman's expectations so high. The woman is so happy. And boom, will you marry me? Because they have realized that that is the exact right time. Somebody says, nowadays, pizza do all. Anyway, I'm just telling you the general thing. I did some yesterday and she said yes. Desmond, congratulations. Desmond Fifi Sechi. Those who know him, tell him congratulations for me. He said, I did some yesterday. So I'm just explaining when we introduce change. Okay. So you have been with the woman for about a year or two, and now you want to take your relationship from just being boyfriend, girlfriend to marital level. Okay, somebody said, anyway, so you want to take it from that level to another level. Then what you do is that you try to find the appropriate time, not when the woman is angry, okay? Not when both of you are fighting. That is when you go and do the proposal. I can tell you on authority that you will get a no. Okay, so in the business world, we need to know what is the appropriate time. So in Ghana here, when the government of Ghana introduced the current e-levy system, one of the arguments in the system was that it wasn't appropriate. Okay, the timing was wrong because currently we just came out of COVID, and Russia and Ukraine issue is bringing hardship on the people, and you want to add another hardship by introducing the e-levy system and a whole lot. So introducing a change to organization, we need to first of all, what is the suitable stage for introducing the change? Number two, budget. How do we cost the e-business? The e-business that we want to introduce to the organization, what is the suitable time to introduce it? Number two, the budget. In terms of money, how much will it cost us to introduce it? Then number three, what are the resources needed? The resources are, what type of resources do we need? It can be the human resources, it can be the technological resources, it can be a whole lot of resources, okay, network setup and all those things. So what type of resources do we need? And what are their responsibilities? And number three, where do we obtain them? We don't just ask ourselves what resources to use and just sleep. Where do we get them, and what are going to be their purpose for those resources, and where do we obtain them from? Then the next one is the organizational structure. Do we need to revise the organizational structure? You see, when somebody buys something from you online, and that somebody needs to, the top level need to approve, this one has to approve, this one has to approve before finally the product is sent to the customer. If you don't take care, the customer will not come again, because when there is a high level of bureaucracy, there is a delay in the flow of products and services. So the organizational structure, do we need to revise our organizational structure? That is also a very good question. Then the next one, we need to also manage the human impact of the change. What is the best way to introduce a large-scale e-business change to employees that they will agree, they will go along with you, they will be in support with whatever system that you want to introduce? Else, they will fight it. They will fight it. Then the next one, technologies to support the e-business. What is the role of knowledge management, the groupware and intranet are explored? Knowledge management, you did it in MIS, so I won't go back there. Groupware, you did it in MIS. So the question that you need to be asking yourself, what is the role of this management system, okay, and the groupware system and intranet that we can explore? Then also, the next thing we need to look at is, what are some of the risks associated with the type of e-business that we want to introduce? So risk management approaches to e-business led change. As you do as Victoria, be careful. Be careful. We are learning. We have passed where your discussion is. So let's continue. I beg. Oh God. So key factors in achieving change. So to achieve change, there are certain key factors that we need to look at: the market and the business model, the business process, the organizational structure, the technological infrastructure, the leadership commitment, project management, employee acquisition retention, and employees ownership. Next semester, I think, is it this semester or next semester? I think this semester you'll be doing project management. Okay, maybe one of the centers, maybe Tema people. I was in Tema last time. I don't know if I will be coming there this time too. Okay, so yes, project management. You are doing it this semester, and I was in Tema the last time. I don't know if I'll be coming there, but let's see what happens. So project management is one of the issues, key factors. Okay, so these are the change levers and these are the success factors. Okay, those up here are the change levers and those down here are the success factors. Now let's go into it. To change, yes, with Dr. Muntaka, yes, project management. So key change management issues. We have what we call conversion system. To introduce change, there is what we call the conversion system. So e-business change management might involve the conversion of an IT infrastructure from a previous system to a new system, according to Combe. Okay. According to Combe, conversion system include one, we have what we call the parallel conversion. Then we have what we call the phase conversion. We have what we call the pilot and the plunge conversion. Let's take them one by one. The parallel conversion. That is, we have an old system and a new system that runs in tandem or side by side until the development team and management agrees to switch permanently to the new system. Example is when Ghana here, we were trying to introduce the new Ghana CD. Okay, the new CD. You realize that the old CD and the new CD were in circulation. Okay, we're using both at the same time until we decided to finally switch completely from the new system, from the old system to the new system. So we call it the parallel kind of conversion system. Old and new system running at the same time until the development team. So we can have a manual system of doing business and can have an online system of doing business. And all of them will be running at the same time. But with time, we'll phase out the face-to-face or the manual, the brick and mortar kind of business, and we'll concentrate solely on the online system. Then we have what we call the phase-based. Okay, that is only part of the new system or only few department offices or business units are converted at a time. So we might have, let's say, a business entity. We have different units. Okay, we have different units. So what we do is that we first of all introduce it to units, the first units or the accounts department. Then later on, we add the HR department to it. Later on, we add the manufacturing department to it. Then we add the sales department. Then we add, let's say, the procurement department. So before you realize, we introduce every segment of the department to the new system on phase base. So we put everybody on it gradually until everybody comes onto the new system. So we call it the phased based conversion. Then also we have the pilot conversion. That is a whole system where we set one system as a pilot. What the pilot means is that they will be used to test for the new system. Okay. When it is successful, we assume that it will be successful everywhere. So as soon as the pilot system is successful, we roll everybody on. Like in NDC time, I think in 2012, okay, they introduced what they call capitation in Ashanti region, that they were piloting it. Okay, they were piloting capitation in Ashanti region, and it ran throughout till 2016. Okay, after the election, that was when the new government came and took away the capitation system. So the pilot system, they were using Kumasi as a case study. So if it was successful in Kumasi, then what it means is that they should have implemented it everywhere, and the NIA too. Okay, they pilot it, and when it's successful, then they implement it everywhere. Then the last one over here, we call it the plunge conversion. The plunge conversion. That one, we don't need time to pilot it. We don't need time to test it and do it. We assume that it's okay. So as soon as we are ready to change, we just change instantly from an old system to a new system. So the whole organization converts to a new system at the same time without wasting much time. So these are the conversion systems that we have. What are some of the challenges to e-business implementation according to some survey results? Number one is gaining a buy-in and budget approval. You see, in Unit 1, we made mention of some of the barriers to e-business implementation and said one of them is the setup cost. Okay, the setup cost. And if it is expensive to introduce e-business, then what it means is that if you don't take care, you will not get budget approval for it because it might be expensive. Number 2, conflict of ownership and tension between different teams and departments. The HR department says we are in charge. The IT department says we are in charge. So conflict among various departments as in who owns the e-business platform. Then number 3, coordination with different channels. How to link with other websites and other people so that you'll be able to do businesses together can also be a challenge. Then also managing and integrating customers' information. Managing and integrating customers' information. Don't forget that when customers used to come to us, okay, we were probably maybe writing their names and how much they have bought from us. But when we have an online system, we need to feed all their records and data into the new system. And sometimes how to manage and integrate this customer information becomes a big problem. Then also achieving a unified reporting system is also a very big challenge. Then staff recruitment and retention. You go and pick someone, train the person very well. And when the person, at the time when you feel the person is good enough for you to get, somebody says, what is the difference between the phased and the pilot? I said the phase, we introduce the department by department. So we start with one department. As soon as it becomes successful, we roll on another one. Then as it becomes successful, we roll another one until everybody is rolled on. By the pilot, we only use one department as a test case. As soon as it's successful, everybody is rolled on. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. I hope, Zachariah, I hope you are okay with it. All right. So coordinating with the coordination of different channels, achieving unified reporting system, staff recruitment and retention. So when you have trained a staff and at a point when you think you are going to recoup all the investment you have made within the in the staff, then the person will come and tell you, oh, say, I beg, I'm going to school. I've gotten another job. I'm resigning. So this is also a big challenge, okay, to train the person in how to use your new e-business or e-commerce system. And as soon as the system takes off, then the person will tell you, I'm leaving. Okay, so how do we solve some of these problems? The different types of changes in businesses. Now we want to look at the types of changes in businesses. I'll be explaining how to deal with some of these problems very soon. I will explain them. But let's look at the different types of changes. There is a change we call the incremental change. Okay, just like the name implies, incremental. So we implement a change on gradual basis. We don't just say, boom, we are changing. No. So incremental change, that is relatively small adjustment required by an organization in response to its business environment. So based on what the environment requires, we implement a change to suit what the business environment requires. Then what we call the discontinuous change. That is a change involving a major transformation in an industry. Discontinuous change, a major transformation in an industry. Then we have the organizational change, which also includes both incremental change and a discontinuous change. Then the anticipatory change. An organization initiates change without immediate need to respond. They anticipate that something will change in the future. Okay, not immediately. They anticipate. Okay, then what we call the reactive change. That is a direct response to the change by an organization to a change in its environment. So reacting based or changing your strategy based on what the environment is presenting to you at a given time. Okay, then we have what we call the business process management and what we call the business process re-engineering. I'm going to explain these two things over here. So looking at the BPM, business process management, what we are saying is that the way we do our business, how do we manage it? That is the whole idea about business process management. It is an approach intended to increase the process efficiency by improving information flows between people as they perform their business task. An approach intended to increase the process efficiency, the way we deliver service to our customers, the way we respond to customers, how we can increase the process of it effectively by improving information flow. Because if you call the HR department of an organization for certain information and HR don't get maybe the information that the customer is requesting for, the HR department needs to request it from the accounts department to be able to tell or be able to give accurate information to the customer. So if there is not, if we don't have a free flow of information, or if we don't improve the information flow between people as they perform their business tasks, then we cannot have a successful business entity. So business process management is when we are able to increase our business efficiency, our process efficiency, by improving information flow as we perform our business tasks. And we are saying that this is usually done with the support of information system or software tools. This is done by the use of information system or software tools. Now, what is business process re-engineering? So it means that the business process has been engineered already, okay? Has been engineered already. And we are trying to find a way to re-engineer it. And how do we re-engineer it? What that means, we need to first of all identify radical new ways of carrying out business operation, which are often enabled by new IT capabilities. So according to Hammer and Champy, they define business process reengineering as the fundamental rethinking. So we have already thought about it, but we need to rethink about the whole thing and also radically redesign of the business processes to achieve a dramatic improvement, not just an improvement, a dramatic one, something that is visible, something that is very, very tangible, okay? So to achieve a dramatic improvement in critical measures of performance, such as costs, quality, service, and speed. So after we have done the fundamental rethinking, the radical redesign to achieve a dramatic improvement, how do we know that there has been an improvement? It can be measured, critically measured in such a way of, have we been able to reduce costs? Okay, have we been able to reduce costs? Is the quality of the product and services that we are offering, has it also improved? The type of services that we are offering, then also the speed at which we offer our services to our customers. So these are the metrics that we can use to measure if there has been a successful business process re-engineering. So just like I said, the fundamental rethinking is all about re-engineering. Usually refers to changing of significant business processes such as the customer service, the sales order processing, and manufacturing. Then radical redesign also is about re-engineering is not involved with minor. It is an incremental change or automation of existing ways of working. It involves a complete rethinking, okay, about the way the business processes operate. Then also we are saying there should be a dramatic improvement. That is the aim of business process reengineering, is to achieve an improvement measured in tens of hundreds of percent. With automation of existing processes, only single figures improvement may be possible. Now, what are the critical measures? Okay, so this point refers to the importance of measuring how well the process operates in terms of four important measures of cost, quality, the service, and the speed, which are already mentioned. The CQSS, okay, in terms of the cost, the quality, the service, and the speed. Okay. So business process improvements is also the optimization of existing process, typically coupled with enhancements in information technology. Then we also have what we call the business process automation. Okay, that is automating existing ways of working manually through information technology. Like I showed you, there is what do you call it? How do you call these people? Jumia. Okay, not that they don't have accountants, they have accountants, but the accountants they are as good as nothing. They don't do anything. All they do is just to do auditing of the various items that were sold within a certain time frame, because there's receiving of cash is not done by a human. It has been automated. Okay, so you pay mobile money and instantly the system will record the amount of money you paid and tell you that, okay, your money has been received and the item can be sent to you. So the question is, what is the downside of business process automation? So you can find out on your own. Developing an e-business solution. How do we do it? Number one, we do something we call initiation. At the initiation stage, there is what we call feasibility analysis is done to identify the need for the project as well as the cost benefit analysis. What are the cost benefits analysis? We are investing 200 million cedis into the system, and the output tells us that we will only get 1 million every year. So this means we will need 200 years to recoup our investments. This is nothing to invest your money in. So in project management, when you start project management, we call the MPV system. You'll be calculating MPV, okay, where you quote the formula of MPV to use to calculate how long it takes for a particular project to start yielding profits, okay. And I would love to be around if I had to get a chance to teach this. It's one of the things I enjoy doing, teaching some of these models. I really love it. Anyway, that's not what we are doing. So let's continue. So initiation, that is at this stage, feasibility and analysis is done to identify the need for the project, as well as the cost benefit analysis, as well as the project planning, the risk, and the change of management. Then we come to the stage number 2, prototyping. That is a preliminary version of the part or all of the information system is developed for a review by its users. In Microsoft Office, okay, Microsoft Office and Microsoft Windows, okay, there's something they call beta version, okay, or sometimes they call the trial version. But the trial version is different from beta. Let me just use the beta version. Before Microsoft will release any newer version of their operating system or their software, what they do is that they release something they call the beta version. The beta version is a free version. They give it out for people to use it and give in their comments. So sometimes they release it like a year or 6 months before the final release of the final product. So when people begin to use the products and they begin to find problems and issues with the product, they will report it back to Microsoft, and Microsoft will use it to make changes in the actual system. So by the time the system comes out, it's almost near perfect, okay? Almost near perfect, because you can't have a perfect system. So a prototype is also a preliminary version of a part of the information system developed for review by its users. So we create a miniature of the entire system and we try to test it to see how the whole thing will look like. Then also we have the final implementation. After we have prototyped it and checked it to see that, okay, it will serve the needs of the users, then we implement it. So it involves the system testing and acceptance stage. That is data migration and change overs. Then the last one is the maintenance. After it has been accepted, then we need to continuously monitor and enhancement. Okay, the accepted system is used, monitored and enhancement made as the organization grows. So as you move along, okay, as you move along, newer things are coming up. So you need to keep adjusting your system to suit the current trend of the system. Don't forget that we said organizational strategy must be agile. Okay, agile or agility. Okay, somebody says hospitality students have a class at 2. Okay, let me quickly show you the assignment so that you can then let me quickly show you the assignment, talk about the assignment so that our people who are going for the what do you call it, the hospitality class can when it's time they can go. Let me quickly show you the assignment. Okay, so you go to this particular website, course rep. After the class, I'll send you my WhatsApp number. Okay, so I can forward. So you are going to a particular website. It's an IBM website. Let me state the steps clearly and use it to explain certain things. Okay, so this is the site. Course rep after the class, or if you can write, or you can take a screenshot. You can take a screenshot of what I've put on the screen. Okay, if you are using your phone, you can take a screenshot. You will go to this particular website, research.ibm.com/university. Okay, then you will sign in using your KNUST student email. It only accepts student email. So if your email is kwesi.menu@knust.edu.gh, that is what you are going to use to sign in. So you register. So you go to the above website and you visit the above link and you register. Okay. So after you register, you click on IBM Academic Initiative. From there, okay. So you go to this particular link and you go to the Academic Initiatives page. Then from the link, you go and register. You enter your KNUST mail to begin the registration process. Okay. Then after that, after you are registered, browse several courses that are available. There are a lot of courses over there. One of the courses is called Enterprise Design Thinking. One of the courses is called Enterprise Design Thinking. Go through the course and complete the course. When you are done with the course, you'll be issued out a certificate. You'll be issued out a certificate. Take a screenshot or download your completed certificate. We initially wanted you to print and submit your course rep, but anyway, the further details will be posted on the V class by Wednesday. So keep checking the V class. So by Wednesday, whether we want you to print it or we want you to upload it. So the evidence of you participating in this part of exercise is your certificate. Because the certificate will bear your name. Okay, so when you are registering, make sure you register with your full name. Please, I hope you are with me. Hello. Your student email is what you used to register. So and so at knust.edu.gh. That's your student mail. That is what you use to register. If you use your normal Gmail, Yahoo Mail, the site will not accept it. It's an institutional thing. It was created by IBM for universities. So until you have a .edu extension and a registered institution, you cannot do this exercise. Okay, so go to the Student AIM platform and you see your email over there and what you also use to access the V class. Okay, so this is the main exercise, and the evidence of you participating in this exercise is your certificate. All right, so this is my number. Please know when to call. Okay, or send me a message and I'll send you the details on WhatsApp. 02 anything with regards to IDL, please don't call me on that. Call the IDL office. I'm begging you. Because of the way people call you, say, I want to buy forms. I'm not in charge of those things. So please, the number I've given is just about either the course, you don't understand something, you want me to help you out, that is fair. If you want further explanation about the, the assignment, that is fair. But please don't call me outside any of these areas. What, please, I'm begging you. So that is my number. So the hospitality student, if your time is up, you can go, whilst the rest of us will continue with the rest. If iOS is not supporting AIM, your V class, how do you access the V class? You use your student's mail to access the V class. So what is the big deal about it? Your email that was created for you when you joined KNUST, that is what you are going to use. So please, that is it. Now let's continue. So these are the stages that we talked about. So we have the initiation stage. Somebody says, go to your V class and click on the profile. You will see the email there. So go to your V class. Those who have started WhatsApping me, you know I'm teaching, I can't respond. Okay. All right. So the first stage we talked about is, so when I'm done, those who will still be online, I'll open the page. Okay, I've done mine. So I'll open the page and try to coach you a little bit, but I have to talk about it generally to everybody. So those who want to leave can leave. Like, I mean, the hospitality student who said they have another class. So if they want to go, they can go and have the other class. But as I said earlier, when I'm done with everything, I want to go back to I'll open the website and I'll try and coach you a little bit through the process to get this work done. I'm not supposed to do that, but if time will permit me, I'll do that. So the hospitality student, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you in the face-to-face when we meet in class. All right, so we have the initiation stage, the prototyping stage. In the prototyping stage, it starts by the analysis. We design it, we develop it, we test and review it. If it doesn't work the way we want it to be, we take it back to analyze it again. We'll redesign it again. We redevelop it again, and we'll retest it again. So the prototyping stage is a cycle. Okay, the prototyping stage is a cycle. Then we have the final implementation stage, and we have the maintenance and monitoring stage. What is the step for effective prototyping? For a prototyping to be very effective, number one, there must be the length of time for analysis, design, and build stage should be reduced as much as possible by using the latest software development tools. Okay, so it must be rapid, quick. We should do it as early as possible that we want to get it out there. Then simple, it must not be shrouded in too much secrecy or complex kind of system. So prototypes should be very simple and do not contain all the functions of a complete system, but a framework. You see, we are saying that prototypes are not the final system. Okay, they do not contain all the functions, but a framework which gives a good indication to users of the look and feel of an application. This enables users to provide valuable feedback. All right. Then there must be an iterative stage. That is, prototypes are produced often at frequency of every few days or weeks, so that the comments from the last review can be fed into the evolving system. So as time on and on and on, we need to keep reviewing it, just like I showed you here. We need to keep reviewing until we have a perfect prototype system. Then incremental. Each prototype should incorporate the feedback from the previous review system, okay? The previous review, so that each version of the application is an improvement of an old system. So when we have a particular system and we review it, the new one that will come out should be more detailed, or should be more accurate, or more it should be better than the previous one. Please, if you are the course rep, you are the people that will contact me and I'll send you the link. Is that okay? But when I'm done, I'll repost the link back on the page, on the screen again. Then also we have the user-centered system. That is, users should be involved at all stages of the development. In describing the existing system, reviewing the prototype and testing the system. So users should be involved at all the stages of the development, because they are the people who are going to use it, okay? They are the people who are going to use it. So they should be involved in describing the existing system and also reviewing the prototypes and testing the system. They are the people who are going to use it, so we should involve them. Then there's what we call the agile software development, okay? An agile software development is a development approach that extends, okay? It extends the concept of prototyping across a whole life cycle for developing website and software application. Okay, it is an iterative approach to developing software and website functionality with the emphasis on face-to-face communication to elicit, define, and test requirements. And we're also saying that each iteration is effectively a mini software project, including the stages of planning, requirement, analysis, design, coding, and testing and documentation. So all these things are part of the software development process. Then the goal of agile development is to be able to create a stable release more frequently than traditional development methodology. So that is the goal of an agile system. And we also talk about what we call the Scrum methodology. It is also a type of methodology that supports an agile software development. And we are saying that Scrum also involves several stakeholders, each with specific responsibility in the software development process. And these stakeholders include the Scrum Master, the project manager, the product owner, and those are the people who represent the stakeholders, such as the business owners and customers, and the Scrum team, which includes the various software developers. And we are also saying that these stakeholders meet periodically to review the development specification. Whatever they have done, they will meet periodically to review the development specification and decide on what has been done and what is yet to be done. These meetings are called the sprint planning meetings, okay? The sprint planning meeting. What has been done and what can be added to what has been already been done. So the term Scrum refers to a daily project status meetings during the sprints. It is a methodology that supports an agile software development based on 15 to 30 days sprint to implement features from a previous backlog. Approaches to managing change in e-business. So, I made mention of certain change management issues, and now we are going to look at how we can manage some of these changes in an e-business environment. Number one, change management is conducted by change agents who are the managers responsible for implementing a new information system or controlling the change. In the context of e-business, the change agent could be one, the project manager, the one who is implementing the e-business project, that is responsible for implementing a new information system, or an e-business manager responsible for incremental adoption of e-business by organizations. So those are the people who are trying to talk to the organization, the manager, the senior level managers, to buy into the idea of implementing the e-business system. Then also the specialists. or the digital marketing or supply chain managers who are also seeking to increase the adoption of e-channels. Okay, these are also can be referred to as change agents. So we talk about change agents, and we are saying that change agents, change management is conducted by change agents, and so these are the agents who implement the various kind of changes in organization. How do we manage changes in e-business? Number one, system sponsors. These are senior managers or board members who have bought into the e-business initiative and are committed to major changes and want to achieve success. So we call them the system sponsors. They have agreed. Don't forget that we said one of the barriers to e-business implementation is getting a buy-in, okay, or management support. So if they are able to, you are able to convince them to buy into it, we call them the system sponsor, because those are the senior managers or board of directors, okay, who have bought into the e-business initiative and are committed to major change and want to achieve success. Then we have the system owners, okay. System owners are also, these are the managers in the organization of key processes, such as the procurement managers or the marketing managers who use the e-business system to achieve benefits in their area. So after the system has been built, the logistics manager, the procurement manager, all those managers who will need the system to achieve their goals or to achieve their benefits they are the system owners. Then we have the system users. These are the staff in different areas of the business, like from the accounting department, from the HR department, from all aspects of the business entity. So these are the staff in the different areas of the business who are actively involved in making the process happen. So special types of system users can be identified, and it is important for change managers to try to influence these staff to help achieve commitment among other staff. So the users who are very committed, managers must be able to convince them, okay, influence them, try to influence these staff to help to help achieve commitment among other members who have not committed themselves to the new system. And in the business environment, we must know the leadership style, okay, for implementing the e-business. So according to Kope and Waddell, okay, they have assessed the role of leadership style in e-commerce implementation. And the most common among them is what we call the collaborative type. We have the consultative type. We have the directive type. We have the coercive type. What are the collaborative type? That is a widespread anticipation of employees occurs to define the changes required and techniques to achieve them. So they want to introduce a particular new system or a new change to the organization. And what they do is that they involve employees, okay? Widespread participation of employees. So their views and opinions are sought after, okay, to define the changes and required technique to achieve them. Then number two, we call it the consultative phase. Management takes the final decision after calling on some employees for inputs. So the difference between the collaborative and the consultative is that with the collaborative, even taking the final decision will involve the employees. But with the consultative, managers will take the final decision after they have called you to seek your opinion. But the opinions of you will not matter when it comes to the final decision. Sometimes it can influence, sometimes they will not even regard your input. So the management takes the final decision after calling on some of the employees for their input. Then we have what we call the directive leadership style. That is the management team takes the decision. And in this case, the employees are generally trusting them that they will be able to implement changes that will be in the interest of everybody. So we call it the directive change. So we agree that yes, they are the leaders, they can do it, and we know that whatever they implement is at the interest of all of us. Then also we have what we call the coercive change. The coercive leadership style is the management team take the decision with very limited recourse to employees. So with the coercive type, they don't need your inputs. The business belongs to me, and I am the one who owns the business. I spend my money, and I decide what to do and what not to do. So that is what we call the coercive type. Among these four, the most common one is the consultative type. Okay, the most common one is the consultative type. If we say an organization is successful in implementing a change, what are the variables that can show or can indicate that there has been a critical variables to the success of any organizational change? Number one, the degree to which leaders can break away from a previous way of thinking and working. You see, you go to certain organization, we have brought in computers and systems, we have bought a new software that everybody should start using this software, and you go and you see even the leaders, they'll tell you, oh, my friend, if the thing is not working, go back to the old system and use it. After all, it's a new system. So the degree to which the leaders can break away, they are saying that, okay, this is a new system. Whether we understand it or not, we want to use it so that as we continue using it, we'll begin to understand it better. Okay? Inusa, please check your internet. It's not from here. There is sound. Okay? There is sound. For now, my internet is stable. So there is sound. The next one, the significance or the comprehensiveness of the change. That change that we introduced, okay, how significant is the change and how comprehensive is that particular change? Then number three, the extent to which the head of the organization is actively involved in the change. When the leader of the organization says, there is no money, let's tighten our belts, and you go and meet him and he has loosened up his belt and he's chopping money like any other thing, then that leader is not, we cannot say there's a successful success of a change. Because when we all say we should tighten our belts so that we can implement an e-business strategy, what it means is that everybody must be inclusive, including the leadership of the organization. So to what extent, the extent to which the head of the organization is actively involved in the change process. So how do we introduce change? A model of e-business change management. Number one, we have what we call the initial orientation stage. Number two, according to J and Smith, 1996, they've outlined a model for e-business change management. So they call it the initial state orientation, the preparation, the change implementation, and the supportive phase. Okay. What is the orientation, initial orientation? At the initial orientation, we explain the reason for bringing about the change. Okay. The people who you want them to change from an old system to a new system, you need to explain to them why the need for the change. Because if we don't understand why we are changing, we don't also see the essence of changing along. So develop change strategy that includes the project milestone, how results and business objectives will be measured, and how the change project will be organized. And you establish a team that will help implement the change. Number two, preparation. An analysis of the environment, both within and external, okay, internal and external, must be done. Then we identify some of the critical success factors. Then we'll also look at the threats, okay? We look at the threats. Then we'll look at establish a work plan that include detailed tasks and timelines, okay? Then we provide direction by way of communicating the goals of the project and how we intend to achieve them. So the people must know how we want to achieve the particular change that we are trying to implement. Then the next one, change implementation. We need to pilot the change by introducing new procedures. Then we need to continuously conduct training. Okay, we need to train the people continuously. That is why, especially the banking sector, if they are introducing a new software for their banking system, they will allow their workers to go for several trainings, okay, to help them get abreast with the new technology that they are introducing. Then also finally rolling out the change while defining and communicating job definition. So after we have introduced the new system, people's roles must be defined, okay, what their job definitions are, the training schedules, how long do we need to be going for training for extra knowledge in the system, maybe every 6 months, every 2 weeks, every 1 month. So working procedure and reward system. Those who effectively use the system and are able to use it to discharge their duties, those people must be rewarded. Those people must be rewarded so that it will encourage other people to also learn how to use the system. Then the next phase is what we call the supportive phase. At the supportive phase, change must be stabilized by fine-tuning or adjusting the procedure. So after we have introduced the change, we need to continuously commit. There is a need for continual commitment from managers, because after we have introduced the change, the environment we introduce the change keeps changing. And because of that, we need to keep fine-tuning it gradually until we get a perfect system that everybody becomes happy about with. Then also we have to measure the acceptance. We need to measure the acceptance and new behavior. Then we produce a formal report to evaluate the effectiveness of the change that we have introduced. Then we have to take action to prevent relapse. People who want to revert to old system must be punished, or who want to bypass the new system must be, we have to take action against them, okay? Because of maybe their selfish interests or how they use the old system to cheat the organization. They always want to revert back. So there must be, you need to take action to prevent a relapse or going back to the old system. Then we need to conduct a regular review meetings along with continually training and procedure review. Okay, so we need to continually review the system to make sure that the system is actually performing the function or the role we intend it to play. Then the transition phase. At the transition phase, the announcement and commencement of any planned e-commerce initiative will produce different kinds of responses from staff. And because of that, staff attitudes and their response to e-business initiative will evolve with time and progress of the initiative. Hence, the whole organization will go through certain transitional periods, which will involve varying certain attitude and responses. So because of that, it is very important for these transitions to be anticipated and dealt with. As I said earlier on, as we try to introduce technology, some of these issues will be cropping up. So we need to anticipate that they will come. And when they actually come, we need to find ways to deal with them. Hayes presents a transition model for dealing with these issues. And if you download the slides, you can go through the shock or the awareness phase, the denial phase, the depression phase, and letting go phase. Okay. When something happens at the initial stage, people want to deny. Excuse me to say, you travel and you come back, or you go to work and you come home and you check your pockets and you can't find your phone. You are shocked. Create a climate of receptiveness to change. Announcement of sufficiently advanced in involving senior managers. So you are shocked. Hey, it's left. Then you begin to deny it's not true and it is not missing. Maybe I think I've left it in my bag. So you are in the denial stage. Then as long as you keep looking for the item and you are not finding it, you become depressed. Okay. Then it gets to a point you say, okay, come on. If it's gone, let it go. So letting it go, the letting it go phase. So you can relate this to e-business when you take your time and go through the model. Then we need to do the testing, consolidating, and reflecting or reflection. Let's look at the last chapter for today, which we call the risk management. This is going to be my last topic for today. Risk management. Don't forget on our fifth slide, okay? On our fifth slide, we said what we anticipate don't happen to us. What we least expect is what actually happened to us. And that is what we call risk, okay? That is what we call risk. So the process of evaluating potential risks, they have not happened, but potentially they can happen. So potential risk, number one, then developing a strategy to reduce it from happening. Then number three, learning about it for future reference or for future, so that in future you will not fall prey to that same problem. Let me use our normal life experience to explain this. A lot of women or guys have been through different types of heartbreaks, but they have not learned any strategy out of it to help them learn from future heartbreaks. So in the business world, we need to look at what is likely to cause a problem to the organization. Then knowing what are likely to cause a problem, then we develop strategies that will help us reduce those problems or those issues. Then after developing those things, we learn about it for future reference. What are the stages for managing risk? Number one, you need to identify risk, including the possibilities of them happening and the possibilities and their impacts. What are some of the various risks of doing business online? Maybe we risk delaying the customer's item that they have ordered online. Maybe the money that people are paying, maybe it will not end up in our system. So these are all risks, okay, that an organization can be facing. Then number two, identify possible solutions to this risk. Delay. How do we take care of delays? We'll make sure that we will have a backup plan so that when we have a particular delivery service that has to deliver the item to the customer and the item is delayed, the customer, we can use an alternate route or alternate transportation service to make sure that the item gets to the people. So we need to identify various solutions, okay, to some of these risks. Then number three, implement the solution targeting the highest impact or the highest most likely risk, okay? Some of the risks are likely to happen more than the others. And because of that, we need to identify some of the possible solutions to this risk and implement the solution that will highly solve the problem, targeting the highest impact. Then the last one is monitor the risk to learn for the future risk. What are some of the risks that we are talking about here? Number one, insufficient senior management commitment. If senior managers are not committed to implementing the e-business or they are not committed to it, how do we solve it? We can solve this problem by continuously educating them, training them, lobbying them by e-business manager to achieve a buy-in. So you need to educate them the importance of the e-business. You need to keep training them. You need to keep lobbying until they agree. What other risk again? Problems with new technology, delaying implementation. That is the system either being slow, it's not too fast, there's a compatibility issue, or there is bugs. That is when we need to allow sufficient time for performance testing before it is launched. So if you have a new system and you don't sufficiently test it to make sure that it can solve your problem, you will bring it out and there will be a lot of problem. Then the risk of project milestone not met or overrun its budget. How do we solve this problem? We need to appoint an experienced project manager and provide support and resources needed to those project managers to be able to solve that particular problem. So that is why this semester you'll be doing project management, because it's going to help you understand some of the things. There are other risks, okay, which I can't go through all of them. And when you get a slice from the V class, there are other risks that you can read and the solutions to those. So if you come to this table is also showing some of the risk. This table is also showing some of the risk that is associated. So you read the risk and its likelihood to impact the organization on the scale of 1 to 10. Okay, some are very high. Problem with integration of partner system, example, customers and supplier. And this one, the risk is 8. So it means it's very likely to hit the organization. So this brings us to the end of this weekend's class, talking about our introduction to e-business, okay? The introduction to e-business and e-commerce, e-business and e-commerce framework, the revenue models, and the change management. So we will meet in class to discuss how to implement it, the infrastructure, and the e-business strategy. So if you have any question, you can raise your hand and I'll unmute you to ask your question before I show you the assignment on the platform. Somebody saying, I can't have access to the IBM academic initiative. Okay, I can see 2 people raised up their hand here. So let me see. Stephen Anofu, is this Stephen Anofu? Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm listening. Sir. Yes, sir. I'm listening.
Sir, please, I was asking that this kind of e-commerce, don't you have any agency regulating their level of scams? Because sometimes you see an online business, maybe like, let's say the eBay, Alibaba, and other stuff, they have been selling and making profits. They also tell you that come for a shop online and you go and invest your money and later they run away with you getting anything from it.
Well, what I can say is that know who you are dealing with, okay? The type of online platform that you are dealing with. I know of Jumia. It's an established organization. You can find their offices, okay? You can find their offices. So if there is any issue, you can quickly run to them and sort issues out. But don't just go out there, anybody saying he's offering an e-business system and you say, oh, I want to join it. I hope you're with me. So make sure that the platform that you are joining is one that you can trust and know where to find them. Anything online that deals with dispatching money, hard-earned money, be very careful, because there are a lot of scammers out there who, if you don't take care, they'll scam you of everything that you have toiled for. So be very careful. The government cannot do anything about something like that. So, Stephen, I hope I've answered your question. Stephen. Hello, Stephen. I hope I've answered your question. Okay, I guess I've answered Stephen's question.
Right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I see Desmond. Desmond, I unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Sir, I want to ask that is it compulsory that every business should use the e-business or e-commerce?
Can I also ask you a question?
Hello?
I said, can I also ask you a question?
Yes, please.
How many courses have you done so far since you joined IDL?
Oh, about 20 courses.
Is it all of them that you need in your industry?
No, please.
So if e-business is one strategy that would be needed at your organization, then you implement it as and when it's needed. The
Okay.
tools, you are being armed with the tools, like a police officer. The fact that we give you a gun doesn't mean go around and be shooting people. A police officer, when you are given a gun, the fact that the gun has been handed to you doesn't mean it should be you should go around there and be shooting people anyhow. So as and when there is a need, so you are guarding somebody, an armed robber wants to shoot the person, then in that case, you have the go ahead to also shoot back at the armed robber. So we are arming you with a lot of knowledge, a lot of things. So when you get out there, you use any of these things that you are being given based on what do you call it, as and when you need them. So it's not compulsory you should be implementing it. Even if you are not within a sector which will need an e-business, then what will be the essence of it? So we are arming you with the tools. You have to know how to use it. Desmond, I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, please.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Makotu, please ask your question.
Okay, so hello.
Yeah, I'm listening, Mark.
Yeah, so I see you are really like into online stuff, like e-business, e-commerce and all that. But what do you think in Ghana so far? Do you think we are doing well with incorporating the concept of e-business and then comparing both e-business and then e-commerce? Which one do you think we are really like progressing steadily?
I didn't get the last part of your question. Can you rephrase the last?
So I'm saying with e-commerce and e-business in Ghana, looking at the ecosystem in Ghana right now, like commerce or ecosystem in Ghana right now. Do you think which one do you think we are doing most well? Is it the e-commerce or the e-business? And then I want to know your personal opinion on that. And then are we like integrating it to the levels of, let's say, China or America? And then do you think we can get there as well, like with regards to that?
You see, Mark, the truth of the matter is that, you see, there is no way we can compare ourselves with the level of the commerce system that is being used in China. Time is fast spent. I would have taken you to YouTube and shown you some of the commerce, how they have advanced themselves in the commerce system. You see, I watched a video on YouTube, okay? There was a guy who was doing, what do you call it? A test case, okay? And he wanted to show people, he was showing, what do you call it? Currency, okay? He was showing currency to Chinese, some of their Chinese currencies, the printed one, okay? I'm coming. Let me see if I can find some of the videos and show you. And when he showed them, like if I show you the Ghana CD, the 200 CD bill or the 100 CD bill, and people were surprised, say, hey, do we have money in this country? They have advanced to the extent, to the point that there are people who have lived in China for about 10 years. They have not even seen physical cash before. Everything is virtual. Everything is virtual. They make purchase of fuel, whatever, on the virtual platform. So to compare ourselves with that of China is a no-go area. They have really way advanced beyond the what we are doing over here. And what I can say with my opinion, you see, my second master's, I did my project was about e-business implementation and how it's helping businesses today. And one of the things that we realize is that though e-business has not gained the ground as is expected in today's world, in our terrain here in Ghana, but gradually people are beginning to accept and people are beginning to start using the e-business system. It will take us some time though, but I know one day we'll get there. We are not gotten there yet. We are not even a quarter away from how we want the e-business system to be, but yet to a certain limit, we'll say that yes, to our level here in Africa, well, we might be better than some African countries, but we have not gotten there yet. Because if you see how the Chinese, the Japanese, and all the other advanced countries, you see, during the COVID time, there was this in UK, they developed a robotic delivery system. Let me see if I can find it. Robotic delivery service. Okay, it was in UK. Very good. These are some of how they look like. Very good. Please, I hope you can see from the screen. Okay. Please, I hope you can see. Please, can you see what I'm showing on the screen? Good. So this was developed in UK. I saw this robot system in UK. So during the COVID time, when people were not allowed to exchange items, because when somebody holds a product and gives it to you, if you don't take care, he might affect you with COVID and all those things. They developed this robotic system. So you go to a shop like Walmart and you go to Walmart online and you buy a product, and they will put your product in this robotic delivery system. Okay. And these are fixed with cameras and other things, GPS system. And these things will drive all the way from the shop. Okay. It will drive all the way from the shop to your house. Ghana here, if these things are to move along our street, somebody will capture it and take it home. Somebody will kidnap it and take it home. You understand? This is how far they have developed their e-commerce system. Okay, like over here we have this Glovo and others riding motor in town to go and do delivery services. They don't need it. They have built robots that somebody will deliberately hit this thing with their car. You see, the black man and their mindsets, sometimes I just don't know. Okay, so when the item gets to your doorstep, okay, somebody say, I promise we take up kukra. You understand? So when you order the item online, they will put it in those robotic delivery services and it will come to your house. When it comes, the item is logged. There's a QR code on your phone. You will scan the QR code on the device and the device will open for you to take your delivery. So if it is food, if it is whatever, they will package it and put it inside the delivery service, and the item will drive from the shop all the way to your house. So look at it, how beautiful these items have been developed. Okay, so it comes to your house so look at how they are going to put a food. Somebody has ordered for food and they put the food in the delivery service and they lock it. So the item will now leave the shop. They have programmed wherever the item is going. Okay, and it's set off from the shop and it will go all the way to the houses of those people who have ordered it. And when it gets there, they will scan it. So look at it. So this woman is taking her delivery. Okay, so they will show a QR code, they will scan a code, and the system will open for them to take their delivery from the cart. And as soon as they close it, the cart goes back. Somebody says the GH potholes will even destroy the food. You order for fufu and palm nut soup. By the time the food gets to your destination, the palm nut soup is inside the cart itself. You understand? So the gentleman who asked the question, that what is my opinion? Have we accepted it? Have we gotten there? My brother, we have not gotten anywhere. We have not gotten anywhere. We have not gotten anywhere. And you see, somebody is saying, but a car can hit it. They understand the system over there. They respect seeing some of these robotic systems moving along the street. Okay, they respect it. They will make sure that they will stop. Even animals they stop for animals to cross road. How much more some of these technologies? Okay, We are in Zachary. I didn't say what you are saying. Please, it's too big for my mouth to say it. Okay, so these are some of the levels that the advanced countries, how they've got into. Look at this one too. Let me see. There's one that was used in the restaurants, okay, where you order food, and the food system from the restaurant, it looks like something like this. There is no waitress, okay? There's no waitress in the restaurant. You order the food on your phone, you sit down. When the food is ready, the table that you are sitting, where you are sitting, there's a robot that will bring the food to your desk where you are sitting at the restaurant. Okay, so these are all, look at how FedEx, Coca-Cola, and all these advanced companies or the top level industries are implementing some of these systems. You see, I just showed you Burj Khalifa, and as I'm showing you, advert is coming on it. They have seen that I search on it. So look at it. Prime, FedEx is doing, Coca-Cola is doing it. So people are controlling these robots from somewhere. Okay, they are not sitting in it, so they are controlling from somewhere. Okay, so this is Starship Campus Delivery. This is a campus like KNUST. They can have a system like that on KNUST campus, and students will come from their rooms and come and pick the product. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so we have not gotten anywhere. We've not even started. Let me put it that way. We have not even started. All right. So that is that. Is there any other question? If there is any question, you can raise your hand and let me address it. Else, anyways, somebody's saying something about Glovo. Please, that is somebody's product. I cannot comment on it. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't comment on it. All right, so let me now take you through the assignment. Okay, I'm not going to do everything. I'm just going to show you how it is done. Good. So you go to the site research.ibm.com/university. So this is the page. Okay, so this is the page. Then you go to IBM Academic Initiative. Okay, this is IBM Academic Initiative. Then you go to learn more. Okay, it will take you to a new page. Then you register. Okay, you register. So the registration will require that you enter your student email or your KNUST email. This is my KNUST email, caleb.anane-aj@knust.edu.gh. So that is what I use to register. I've already registered, so I don't need to re-register. Okay, so you will register. So I am already registered. I've already registered to the service. So I will now log in. So after you have registered, you now log in. Okay. So continue. I'll enter my password and it logs me in onto the system. Okay. Now, when you are in the system, when you are logged in like this, okay, there are several courses. Okay. There are several courses over here. Okay. Oh, shit. You come to explore additional resources and you come to view more. Okay. View more. And under view more, that is when you see the enterprise design thinking. So you go to the enterprise design thinking, and this is where the course is. Okay. This is where the course is. So you need to log in with the email that you used to create. You need to log in and you start learning. So there are different frameworks that you go through. And after going through, you'll be presented a certificate. It is part of this course, which you must do and present it latest by Wednesday. Okay. So check V class, continuously check the V class. Somebody is saying, sir, we have 2 emails. How do you have 2 emails? Whatever mail you use to sign into the V class, that should be the one you should use to register for this one. Okay. So when you do that, you'll be able to participate in the courses. Any question? By you, somebody is asking which password do you use to what do you call it, log into your your for over here, the password over here, you will create your own password. Okay, but the email is what you will need. If you want to use the same password you use for your V class, you can do that. They will send you a code to your email and you need to go to your student email to retrieve that particular password. So please, that is how you do this assignment. Somebody is saying, please go over. I have done it. Try it. You'll be able to do it. I wasn't supposed to show you this. It wasn't part of what I was supposed to do, and I've done it. So please, I think this is where I draw the curtains. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate your time over here. I hope you have enjoyed your stay here. And those in Sunyani, you will see me very soon. So course rep for Sunyani, please kindly get in touch with me. I need to send you some information before I come there for the face-to-face. So thank you.